Life's secular, isn't it? You end up doing things over and over again if you like it. Do you like to shine your brilliance out to the world? Do you want people to know who you are? Or your product? Or whatever it is that you're selling, even if it is selling yourself? Well, that's what citrine does. So it's known as the golden dragon. So in the Chinese, it is considered in feng shui the one that brings in the wealth for your family. But with your chakra system, your energy zone, it's right there underneath your rib cage, and that's your solar plex. And that is about bringing your brilliance out to the world, whatever it is. If you're a speaker, if you need to educate people, that's your brilliance. If you're a designer, that's your brilliance. The way that you express things, that's your brilliance. That's who you are. So you need to shine that light out to the world. And that's what citrine does. Not just that, it brings calm. You don't want to be like, woo! You know, people might not respect you or understand you because you're like out there. So it brings in calm, it brings in happiness. So you feel happy. And when you feel happy, it's magnetic. People love that. People are magnetically drawn to you when you have happiness flowing through you. You know, I always say everything's always good because in my life, happiness is a number one thing that I have to have because it trickles down to other people if you don't. So I want people to be happy. I have to be happy. My first job was working for my mom. So that was my ultimate first job. I was like 8, 9, 10 years old working for my mom in her antique store. And at that time, I had to make like pathways for people because my mom had one of these really cool stores that are jam-packed. Nothing had organization or anything. It had semi-organization, but it was the coolest store. You never knew what you were going to find. It's like a treasure hunt store. So I had to make little aisles for people to be able to walk through and guide. And I'd always pick up I had a full collection of antique dolls, which I still have to this day. And I would say, I want that one. So that's how I got paid. I got paid by antique dolls. That's my first job. Life's secular, isn't it? You end up doing things over and over again if you like it. Sometimes we feel like we're living in a hamster spinning wheel. But if I had to pick one thing I wouldn't do again, I wouldn't rush in a relationship. I would take my time and get to know somebody really, really well before I bring, especially because I have children now, so bringing in that element of another person into my home, I would definitely want time and spend energy on knowing that person very well before that person would step into my home. That's what I would definitely, that's it. Fluently, I speak English and Hebrew, but I understand a lot of languages like Portuguese and Spanish. I know a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of Portuguese, even know a little bit of Chinese. But it's really interesting because when I go into the different countries, within time, if I'm there enough, and because when I'm there, I'm in the villages, nobody knows English and or Hebrew. So I get to learn the language if you like it or not. You get to understand, and we get to learn body language. That one I really know. So I can understand body language, and then I would be able to connect with that other person. Even a little bit of French and a little bit of Arabic. And so I know a little bit of a lot of different ones, not much. I wouldn't say I could have a conversation there. In Spanish, I could probably have a conversation, but and in Portuguese, I can have a conversation, but it's not like a conversation you would have that's all in depth, you know. So a little bit, enough for me to travel around the world and do what I need to do to get my beautiful rocks here for you. You know, in the Egyptian time, it would be you buried yourself with your stones and your fortune. So would I want to take my stones with me? No, I want them to go on to my children or to whoever would be able to enjoy those energies. So for me, in the Jewish religion, you go in a sack, okay, in a cloth sack. You don't have, only in this country you have to, in the United States, you have to be in a wooden box with wood pegs, because that's as close as you can. But if you're buried in Israel, you'd be buried in a sack, in a cotton sack. So we're not buried with anything. So if I was going to be going to the afterlife with something, I'm going to go there with my memories. I'm going to go there. More important for me is, how is my soul elevating? So if I have to go to the afterlife, I better be going there with less karmic trash and junk in my life. So clearing everything that's not loving and neutral. All the emotions, all the garbage, all the stuff that we like to hang on to, all the victimization, all the arrogance, maybe anger, pain, all of that. That's what I want to go. That's got to go. Okay, so I'm very philanthropic, but I'm very picky at it too. So I like to look at philanthropy in a specific way. So I want to know where the money goes. That's important to me. So when I ask a nonprofit how much of the proceeds that I'm going to give goes to actually doing the work, to, giving back. And definitely the children's hospital, when you buy those little balloons, you see, 100% of that goes to that hospital. Love that. Always do it. When I see it, I'm all over it. Track, same thing. We need to feed the animals. Track is therapeutic ranch and therapies for animals. It's TRAK. It's in Tucson, Arizona. That is the one that I always help here. It's a local Tucson nonprofit. I adore them. I know their money goes exactly to what it's supposed to go to, feeding the animals, giving equine therapy and animal therapy to kids with special needs. Very important to me. During the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show, track is there, and all of that, 100% of that donation from all of us and all of the rock people that show up, and non-rock people, but anybody that wants to take pictures in my space, things like that, we always have a donation box to go directly to track. And I think that that's super important to have that in any business that we have a philanthropic side. So that's important to me. Where does it go? How much of the proceeds go there? And I'm on board. So if you're talking to me about certain ones that have been there for many years, like the Cancer Society, things like that, not so much. I'm more into the smaller ones that I know. Like right now, I'm a part of the Foothills Club, and they give out 99% of the proceeds goes to a nonprofit for children. So I'm involved with that because that's 100% real. Don't forget to like and subscribe.